Hey guys, I want to talk about what I do, and I guess this would be how to make $1 million video. Okay, I want to start with a little story. I was talking with one of my stylists from one of my salons, and they were saying they don't make what they feel they deserve, um, and ultimately I started, talking to them specifically about some of their numbers and everything, and how, they're not looking for the charges they could be charging, or they're even doing something crazy and discounting it or looking for reasons to discount. And I just thought it was ridiculous. You're struggling and you're trying to help someone that's successful, or and there was some backlash. Well, they don't have money. Well, they wouldn't be here if they didn't have the money to spend. We're not cheap, we're not quickie cuts. But I wanted to talk about what we got into. She finished school a couple years ago. I don't want to be too specific because and I don't want to say the location, but I said, you're working 30 hours a week, and why aren't you working more, and she was sweet about it, and she said, well, I'm working a lot, when I get busy, I'll work more. And I said, that's like saying, I'll start lifting weights after I get the muscle, right? It just doesn't make sense, right? And I use that analogy, which is kind of ridiculous, but I like to talk in pictures, and people see things in pictures. But I'm like, well, when you were in hair school, how much did that cost you? And it was a significant amount of money. And I said, how many hours you going? It's over 30 hours, right? And she was like, yes. And ultimately, this will get into investing. But I said, well, did you have a job when you were in school? And she said, yeah, I worked like 20 hours a week. And I'm like, so you were working like 50 hours a week and you were actually paying to go to school, the majority of that, and you committed a year to that, and you're working 55 plus hours a week. And I said, why aren't you willing to do that? Do a year of that for your career to build your future? You put all that time in to get a piece of paper that said you're a hair god, but why wouldn't you put another year in to get a huge base and pretty much do what needs to be done to get you there as fast as possible? That things we've coached on, and I've had a lot of meetings with her. Well, I hope I broke through, but I don't know. All I do is servant leadership. I show people the path and hope they follow. But I want to talk about what I do, and I'm hoping this will be inspiring, because I never really think about how much I work. It's just around the clock. Family weaves in and out of work, because I own a couple actually 3 businesses and an investment business company, so 4 now. Moon Investment Strategies and Solutions. We call it, don't miss out on generational wealth. And so what I do is I have a team of 12 to 14 people. Every night, they do research on stocks that I'm invested in or cryptocurrency. And I have to believe it's at least 2 hours they do. And then what they do is they take the most important things that they discovered through their research, and pretty much they fill me in on what's going on. So, because I can only do so much by myself, I'm one person, and this is why we get assistants in hair, because you can only do so much on your own. But what they do is they spend about 24 hours or more a night among the 12 of them, bringing me research that they had. And what I do is I spend about 3 hours a night, going through it all and thinking, just it's like a meeting, right? On my phone. So what happens is, my kids go to bed at 9:15, spend about 45 minutes with my wife. And then at 10 o'clock, what I do is I work on my 2 salons for about 2 hours, so about 12. If something's going on, it might extend. It might cut into the other time. But, so I put about, I do that every night. thinking about what we can do, how we can improve, looking at the books, looking at the appointments. Are things being charged right? Is my phone blowing up? Because every time a price is changed, I get an alert. It's a review. And looking ahead, projecting, all these things. What can we do? How can we motivate? How can I communicate with my staff? I'm getting older. I want to be relatable. I want them to understand me. I want to be good to them. And what happens is that 2 hours a night's about 14 hours a week. It's probably more than that, really, but call it 14 hours. That's just with the salon. But then at midnight, I shift into my investments because I have all this information to go to with my phone meetings. And that happens till about 3 in the morning. Sometimes it goes till 4. It just depends on how much research was done and how much time. It's always till 3. So that's about 35 hours a week. So effectively, actually that's 21 hours a week plus my 14 for the salon, 35. But I got 168 hours a week of people doing research for me because I couldn't do it all myself. 168 hours a week. That's a powerful moving. That's mass. That's momentum. And it's somebody that does. So now I've got invested though 35 hours. But then what happens is I go to bed around 3:30. I turn the TV, sometimes 4. Turn the TV on. If my mind can shut off, I fall asleep. 3.5 hours later, I wake up 7:30. 4 hours later, take the kids to school. They have to be there, at 8 o'clock. And then I come home, drink some coffee, try to wake up. By the time that coffee's done, it's about 10 o'clock. The market's open. Check the numbers on the stock, anything I'm investing in, crypto, whatever it is. Sometimes I call the shop at 10 just to prepare the day. And then I'm dealing with, what I'm doing is I'm going through some of the great information that stuck out from the night before from some of my researchers, and I'm validating it with myself to confirm that it's true and real, and then it's noted if it is. And that doesn't take that long, maybe an hour and a half. But then from 11:30 till 6, I'm dealing with business stuff, whether it's the IRS, the mail, the stacks this high, calling, being on hold for 40 minutes. I got another phone calling someone else. And dealing with the banks, dealing with, just everything, payroll. Now, my payroll company, and it's more than just payroll, your accounting, all this stuff. Every day, I can never catch up. And I do that about 54 hours a week. So I do it 9 hours a day till 6 o'clock. And then 6 o'clock, it's practice for the 3 kids. I'm taking a kid to football or whatever. And the days I don't take them to football, I work 3 nights, sometimes 4, sometimes 5. Between the salons, I'm putting in at least 14 hours a week. So that takes me to, another, call it 15 hours. So now we're sitting here at we got 35, and then the 1449. Okay, and then plus the 54 hours that I do the business stuff from, 10 o'clock to 6. So what is that? 10 to 6. 8 hours. Okay, so I apologize. That takes that down to 54, 47 more hours. 47 more hours. So I do that for 47 hours. I do all the night work, and cutting hair is 49 hours. So you take 49 and 54 hours, got 103 hours a week. And that's not counting going in on, Sundays to do payroll. I had to go plunge at the salon, a toilet today. It took me 35 minutes, stuff like that. But my thing is, like I said, I hope this is inspiring, even though I might be putting in that 103 hours a week, not counting the kids and my personal life, just work stuff. I also have 168 hours of researchers helping me invest. But I mean, I just get, to me, this is how it's done. I think people put limitations, or maybe they just don't. I'm not saying I love what I do all the time, but I do it for the rewards. I do it for my family and for my future, because I don't want to be 65 years old and still working a job. I don't want to be wondering who's going to take care of me. I saw that with my parents. My mom right now, I take care of her. And I have a lot of people that depend on me. So I'm happy to do this stuff. And to be honest, if you asked me how many hours I work, I wouldn't have known until I wrote it down today. So back to so from an investing perspective, how do you get this team? You don't have the money, right? Well, what I do is I find people on YouTube that have the same interests. And what I do is I vet them. When they're given information, I validate it constantly. Every day I'm validating what they're saying. And, and when I trust them and I think they dig deep enough, what I do is I make them, one of my advisors. And do they even know who I am? Probably not. But what matters is their information they're giving and the work they're putting in, the time they're putting in, and the fact that they're giving it to me every night when I turn my phone on and I watch these individuals, whether it's stock, it might even be business, my hair salon, how to market it. But make no mistake, anything connected to your income is work. And it may seem like it's just watching something. But when you do it to the extent that I do, it is a job. But I guess what I'm saying is how challenging it is. It makes me happy because I know I'm going to be able to provide for people that need it and care about me. And I care about them, more importantly. So, you don't have to fly to the sun. You don't have to work 100 and something hours to do to have researchers like this. Let them do the work. Maybe you listen to 20 people that you trust, and then you start investing. I always pay myself. When I put this time in, I put a little bit of money into these things that they're investing. They're researching. I pay myself with that. I don't care if it's $10 or $10,000. But I believe, and I credit this protocol to my success. And and I have to believe that I'm positioned really strong because of this, because of them, and I appreciate them. I feel so grateful to have figured this formula out. And this can apply to anybody in any field that you want to get good at. But the only limitations we have are the limitations we put on ourselves, Please like and subscribe and leave a comment. My dreamers.